Alright. Here we go. What's up, guys? Bit of a weird way to start the video, I know, but I am pretty late to this video. 2022, the end of an era for my mental health, YouTube, and my life. I've been procrastinating recently. Pretty slow start to the year, as you probably have guessed, since I haven't uploaded in quite some time. But trust me, I do have a lot planned for 2023. So first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you guys had a nice Christmas, and of course had a great New Year's. And yeah, I'm sorry to inform you that this video will be all about me. I don't know. I feel like I haven't done a channel update in a while, and I do these annually anyway, just sort of talking about my year for the most part on YouTube, a little bit about my personal life, but it's mostly on YouTube. This is changing. For this video, it's going to be mostly about my personal life and how it weaved into YouTube. I actually have a bunch of topics to talk about here. I wonder if I can darken that a bit more so you guys can actually read that on screen. Yeah, pretty much that's all we're going to be talking about. That's a lot of chapters to go through. So first of all, we're going to segue right into it. How 2022 began. Well, obviously, if you guys don't remember, I got COVID late 2021 into 2022. So I actually didn't make my first video of 2022 up until, I don't know, the 10th of January, something like that, when I put out my song Recovery, which was the first single for Young Charisma 2 New Vegas. I'm actually going to put my phone up here so I can actually see what I'm about to talk about next. But yeah, I had COVID then. It was pretty bad. But once I came back, I came back with a bang, obviously, with the song. And then obviously we had the 5th anniversary trailer, which was really cool to work on, like putting one of my favorite songs over some gameplay of the best games that I've played in the last few years, at least the best fun and the best content that has come out of my channel from those games onto this channel. I loved making that 5th anniversary trailer back in January last year, and yeah, I think it will definitely be a video that I keep going back to and keep hoping a lot more people see. I don't know. It was a nice little trailer featuring one of my songs, pretty much an encapsulation of all the content that I do in short form. But obviously, 2022 didn't just begin on YouTube, of course. It began in real life, obviously, as well, and I was continuing my final college year. If you guys didn't know, I've been going to college for the past few years. I am 20 years old. I've been going to college since I was 17, technically 16. I think the first week of college, I turn, well, obviously I age. Well, I think it's like the first couple of weeks, within the first couple of weeks. Either way, I was 16 when I first started college, and within 2 weeks I was 17. So 16, 17 when I went to college, and I started in electrical, studying an electrical course. I live in Britain, so if you guys know how the college system works, cool. If you don't, and you live in America, where it works completely differently, I'm sorry, I won't be able to quite explain it. So feel free to look it up. But yes, I was studying as an electrician for the first year, except I wasn't. That was my toss-off year, where I basically just had fun. You know, I felt like I deserved that year, and I'm not going to change my stance on that neither. I think I deserved a pretty lazy year, if I'm being quite honest. Sorry if the screen goes a bit bright. I have to use gameplay in the background for SHAREFactory, but doesn't matter anyway. So obviously, after that first year in 2020, I switched to health and social care, and that is what I was doing for the past couple of years, which wrapped up in health and social care level 2 which was my second year, obviously. And I've just wrapped that up a few months ago, where I got a pass. I wonder if I could actually show you guys some of my certificates so I could actually prove that. Yes, here it is. Here it is in the most professional way possible. Jordan Polfruin, level 3 certificate, grade D. So I got the lowest grade possible for health and social care, but a pass is a pass. And if anyone on this channel is watching and has ever done health and social care, you know how fucking grueling it is. Funny thing, I could have gotten a C on that. I could have, but obviously, if you guys know me, I procrastinate quite a lot. I get depressed quite a lot. I get in these big episodes sometimes that I just cannot dig myself out of, other than just to wait it out, you know. But I scraped it, you know. I got there, and that was great. And yeah, as the college year was going, I was also starting to play some new games, such as Assassin's Creed and Saints Row. I finished Saints Row the 3rd this year. I'm going to have to add that to the chapters. I finished Saints Row the 3rd for the first time this year, and then I played Saints Row 4, which turned out to be one of my favourite games of all time. Both of them are two of my favourite games of all time. I've also played Saints Row 2 for the first time this year. Honestly, Saints Row has been amazing at just taking up my time, if I'm being honest. That and Call of Duty, which I truly got into this year, well, 2022, sorry, through Call of Duty Ghosts, which I'm still playing to this day. I have so much fun on that. Go check out my Twitch, which I will be talking about later. My Twitch, @SlyJordy. I stream mostly COD Ghosts on that. I'm hoping to branch to other games as well, such as maybe a bit of FIFA here and there, and obviously some other stuff. Batman, I think I want to bring some Batman stuff, because I don't want to do anything more of that on YouTube. I've uploaded so much Batman stuff in my early years on here. But yeah, getting into Call of Duty was really, really cool, but obviously pretty much everything that I was working on in my life, both YouTube wise and college course wise, took a hit because I was in a pretty toxic relationship. So I had a I don't know what quite to call him, but he was my best friend, essentially. And without getting into too many details, he sort of messed around with my emotions a lot. Not on purpose, mind you. I realized that he himself was pretty mentally ill as well, but there's certain things that you can blame a mental illness for, and certain stuff that you cannot blame a mental illness for. I myself have some problems socially because of mental illness, but I know right from wrong, okay? I know right from wrong. I know when not to take it out on people, or at least I know not to take shit out on people that has nothing to do with them, especially when they're trying to help. And essentially, I was the person trying to help, and this person was repeatedly hurting me, pretty much backstabbing me, sort of talking behind my back. There were things that people I don't even know knew about me because of this guy, and it was horrible, and it ended up impacting many parts of my life, including the college course and YouTube, and not just that, but my music as well. Obviously, I mentioned I released Recovery in January of 2022. And that was the first single for Young Charisma New Vegas, which was the sequel to my 2021 EP that did awesome, Young Charisma 1, which is arguably still one of my best projects, probably top 2. And Young Charisma New Vegas was supposed to be the sequel to that, or at least the sequel to Young Charisma Side B. And I struggled big time. Bear in mind, my work ethic for music, whether it's good or bad, healthy or not, is up to you, completely down to you. But I did Leftover Residue in my first college year within 2 months, which was a 15-track mixtape. Young Charisma New Vegas, on the other hand, is a 9-track, primarily, mixtape. which is even less considering that I did some skits for it as well. So I think it was like 7 tracks. And another one was written way before Young Charisma New Vegas. The bonus track, Untitled, I'd done in 2021. So virtually I'd only had to write 7 tracks. And it took me 4 or 5 months. I began work on Young Charisma 2 in January when I worked on Recovery, obviously, and put Recovery out. I didn't finish and release Young Charisma New Vegas until May 2022, which is bad. I made 7 tracks in that amount of time. Bear in mind, Young Charisma 1 was made mostly, like, I'd written the hooks throughout the course of the year, but a lot of the verses were written within the course of 1 month, you know? And then I did Side B. So within 3 months, I'd done Young Charisma 1 and Young Charisma Side B, 2 full-length EPs. Young Charisma New Vegas, on the other hand, it was completely complicated. How much this toxic relationship with my ex-best friend truly impacted me. And just to stop any confusion, this ex-best friend isn't TJ, obviously. I've done videos with TJ recently. My last one was with him. But yeah, I was struggling to really get through that time, and honestly, I'm quite lucky to even have put out Young Charisma New Vegas. But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have put it out, because you could tell within the project that is probably my weakest project since my first EP, which, bear in mind, I was 16 years old when I put out Binge Hours 1, and it was not good at all. Like, I had barely any experience in writing a project that wasn't full of diss tracks. So Binge Hours didn't pan out as much as I would like. It didn't pan out the way I would have liked. And yeah, Young Charisma 2 was sort of the same ordeal, except worse, and I wish I hadn't put it out. I do regret putting out Young Charisma 2. That's why when you search for my music on my homepage, when it says the lo-fi mixtapes, it has Devil's Advocate, it has Leftover Residue, it has Waiting for Eternity, it has Young Charisma Definitive Edition, and it has Binge Hours Part 2. Young Charisma 2 is nowhere to be seen, and neither is Binge Hours. Binge Hours because it just genuinely wasn't good enough. Young Charisma 2, even though it does have good tracks on there like Fabulous, Place Your Bets, I Don't Really Care, Untitled, sorry about that, 7 Bars, I guess you could say, was pretty good. Untitled, if I didn't mention it already, it's comparatively weaker than every other project I put out, including the one I put out a few months ago, Binge Hours Part 2, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yes, this toxic relationship was really hurting me, but I kept it going because I didn't want things to be awkward within the classroom. So I did keep it going. I really did try with this guy, because I did like him a lot. And I'm going to say this right now because I really feel like I need to get it out. This guy was a transgender male. I say guy like that, like guy as in, how can I put this? Like the way I've been referring to him. Like, you know, it's not just a guy. It was my best friend at the time. And they happen to be, well, not transgender, but transmasculine, if you know what that means, which means they were born as a girl. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just burst in, post-edit here, because I feel like I haven't put it in the best way I could. Essentially, this person was born a female and became transmasculine, which was they identify as a boy, so they still had their female parts. I personally am straight. I'm not into dick, obviously, but I thought I just had to set that straight to further add better context to the story. And this is what happens when I don't write a script or whatever and just, you know, say things off the top of my head. Things don't get explained properly, so I've had to add this in. So yeah, sorry if there was any misunderstandings. So essentially, since they were gay as well, I kind of had like a romantic sort of relationship, definitely sexual, and that just made things so much more complicated. I feel like I have to put that out because it really sets the stage of how I was feeling at the time. Because a lot of you might be saying, hey, why didn't you just drop the guy? You know, why didn't you just move on? And I did eventually, but I didn't want things to be really awkward because can you imagine how bad I would have looked if I'd like, fuck this person and then just cut them off in the public eye? Like, I'm very private about my dramas and issues, so people just wouldn't have known and I would have looked horrible for it. Obviously, I think now a lot of people in my life know what happened, or at least it's heavily implied. I've never really put it out there, other than here, and people in my life, at least in real life, locally, they don't watch my channel, thankfully. But yeah, I had to learn to put myself first, and obviously I had to learn to recover from it as well, while also trying to sort of juggle things. And this is where Call of Duty Black Ops 3 comes in, because it really took away my thought processes from all that complicated stuff onto such a brilliant campaign, such a cool story in Black Ops 3. You might disagree, a lot of people do, a lot of people hate Black Ops 3's campaign, but I love it. And I love that I had to really truly think and, you know, write notes, well, type notes to really put it piece to piece together, to like, yeah, really piece together the Black Ops 3 story to the point that even now I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about why this event happened and why this one happened and how this happens and why this happened the way it did. And it's so cool to the point I don't think I'm ever going to stop playing the Black Ops 3 campaign. I'm going to keep coming back to it, mostly to do my weapon upgrades and stuff, but God, it's such a cool campaign, and I would play through it over and over again in a heartbeat, man. It's such a great game. So obviously, this is when I also began to work on video essays. So obviously, like the Black Ops 3 campaign explained review, and this started with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, a short 21-minute video detailing my experience, sort of how I want to do with Yakuza 0, which is a video I've had on the backlog for about 2 months. I've actually stopped myself from playing the game entirely before I can get this video done. Obviously, the Yakuza 0 one, I really need to get that done, and then I'll continue to play the game. But yeah, this the video essays thing truly started with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and obviously I ended up doing Assassin's Creed Unity as well, which didn't pan out so well. I think I got a copyright claim for one of the cutscenes, which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Like, bro, I can't believe that. Like, I hate the fact that game companies would block certain scenes, like in Batman Arkham Knight, but this was like 2014, 2015, 2016. For me, this was like a dark age of gaming, honestly. Yeah, 2014, 15, 16, maybe even 17, just complete, just, yeah, they were just, that was the dark age of gaming. For me personally, I think some of the worst video game practices, like microtransactions, came out during that time zone. But yeah, I started working on those video essays, of course, which included Black Ops 3, and that was what I wanted to do. That was my passion, my hobby, and obviously it still is now. I worked on the Saints Row, the third review a couple months ago, which was over an hour long. Great video. It took me a whole month to make that one, and I'm currently working on the Saints Row 4 review, which as of right now has taken 2 months. In terms of pre-production, but in terms of the actual video, I don't know how long that's going to take. We'll see, though, because obviously I'm playing other games as well. Some games you'll be seeing very, very soon. But yeah, obviously with all that, I learned to put myself first. And this ended up culminating in me completely cutting off this person that had caused me so much grief throughout 2022. Honestly, I don't want to say mean words to him, but he made my life hell You really did. And I know that wasn't... Look, bro, I know that wasn't your intention. If you're watching this video, I know that wasn't your intention, but honestly, I hope the best for you. I really do. I hope you get you really need to get help, personally. In my opinion, you need to get help and stop pushing away the people that are trying to help you. Just because I left you doesn't mean everybody else will, and you need to learn to let people help you when they want to, instead of continuously relapsing into people who genuinely don't even give a shit about you. You're transmasculine, you have a whole new name, and this person that you continuously relapse towards does not respect you in that aspect at all. And that's all I really got to say. Like, there's not much I don't have to emphasize any points. I don't have to go into anything, because you know what I'm talking about. You know that I've told you this sort of stuff time and time and time again, and you just wouldn't listen to me, and you just continuously took it out on me, to the point that I had to leave you, and I have to ignore you on messages. I promised you that I wouldn't block you, and I haven't. You're not blocked, okay? I can see every message you send my number, but I'm not going to respond to anything. This is probably the last time I'm going to mention it. You know, I'm happier without you, and I don't want that to depress you or anything. I want you to take the lesson learned from that and take it forward instead of continuously relapsing, because the last thing you and I want is to see another person be treated like shit. Another person as kind as I was to you anyway be treated like shit, because I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to have my mental health back in jeopardy just like it was a couple years ago. Like, I didn't deserve it. And obviously eventually I had to put myself first, and the last time they took things out on me, the last things I said to them directly was, don't talk to me again. And that was it. I don't plan to talk to them anytime soon. I'm happier without them. And obviously after this, it was full steam ahead on Binge Hours Part 2, which I was so excited to start work on. But we'll get to that in a second, because we've got one more thing to get to. Live stream complications. Now, this isn't a YouTube thing. This isn't a Twitch thing. This is purely a PlayStation 4 thing. I don't think it has anything to do with my internet, because my internet is pretty strong. You know, I can keep live streams going for 15 hours, but it seems to be an issue with the PlayStation 4. Where, for example, the video and audio can go completely out of sync, and that's why I don't live stream at night anymore, and that's why the Let's Plays completely halted after Infinite Warfare. I did the Black Ops Cold War playthrough in October, yes, but that was done in midday, and pretty much every single one of my live streams since that point have been done in midday, and honestly, I like that how it is, and yeah, that's how I've been doing it on Twitch at this point. Streaming midday, things like Call of Duty Ghosts, and I've gained a tiny following, but I have people viewing, you know, more people viewing one stream at a time than I've had on YouTube for years, bro, and I only have like 16 followers on Twitch, by the way, so that really puts into perspective how much live streaming has changed, which I will get into. If you want to skip to that part, the chapter will be like negative changes on YouTube, because they have roadblocked, handicapped live streams to the point that there really isn't a point in doing them anymore, other than if I really want to, and honestly I don't. At least not on YouTube anyway. But yes, Binge Hours Part 2. This was in production, or at least I had lyrics written for Binge Hours Part 2, in particular the Gunslinger 2, that song, the intro song for that mixtape, since before Waiting for Eternity, which was, Waiting for Eternity, bear in mind, was December 2020. I was working on Binge Hours Part 2 for a little bit in November 2020, which was the month between the Leftover Residue release and the Waiting for Eternity release. So yeah, I had been looking forward to doing this mixtape for years, and I'm so glad it turned out the way it did, because the only thing I would change is perhaps I would spend a little more time on the verses of Devil's Advocate remix. I felt like it was a bit rough in some areas, but man, the Gunslinger 2, Ric Flair Drip, Black Ops, I Miss You But I Don't Want You, British Knights, and of course Charismatic Twin. 6 of the best tracks I've ever made out of the 11 tracks that are on there. Don't Play is strong in its own right. Narcoleptic, Devil's Advocate remix, those tracks are strong in their own right. And obviously I had the little bonus tracks that were included on the deluxes as well, like Absquatulate, which is based on my cousin Rai Rai's album Absquatulate. Go check out his channel. Oh, really cool. I started doing a Life is Strange series with Rai Rai. Trust me, we're going to return to doing more live streams with Ryan at some point. Rai, not Ryan Plays Gaming. Although I do want to do more content with him at some point. I'll get into that in the future. Yeah, but with Rai, I plan to go into some Lego stuff now. Obviously, we might do some Life is Strange content in the future. No, definitely. We definitely will. But yeah, in terms of streams, I've moved on to Twitch completely. I don't think I'm going to do any live streams on YouTube this year, other than the Red Dead Online Christmas special still. But yeah, in terms of Binge Hours Part 2, man, I was so happy that project turned out the way it did, and I can't wait to start working on proper music, which will be this year, hopefully. It will be, especially when I get a job, which I'll get into later today in this video, because then I can buy the proper equipment with my own money and then actually work on proper music and put it out on SoundCloud. It's going to be so fucking cool, because you guys will be able to download it then. And you guys will actually have it in high quality instead of recording off of the phone with the TV playing instrumentals, you know? Like, it's proper music that I'll be working on, and I'm so damn excited for that. But yeah, as mentioned earlier, I've been working on more professional videos, not just the video essays, but this video is like, I don't care about video game graphics anymore. That was a pretty good video I did. I think I made a video about GTA 6 this year. Like talking about that and how I think it might be Rockstar Games' first failure, the whole Skull and Bones thing, Saints Row's reboot. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. How disappointed I was in that. That was a proper video I was working on. Just more professional videos like that, more concise, more scripted, you know, as in like I basically type out the script, things I'm going to say as they go on, and those are the types of videos I'm going to make from now on. You know, videos where I really put all my thoughts into it. Not like this, where I'm basically just freestyling, giving you my most raw thoughts. No, like, we're going to have proper scripted videos where I can put my thoughts on a page, on my phone, whatever, in the best way possible to get my point across in the best way possible. And that is going to continue. That will continue on various topics, mostly video games, but also video game politics as well, sort of. Things like the pessimism, that most people have with video games, video game fatigue, playing too many video games. I think that those two are virtually the same thing. The dark age of gaming, whatever. Like, I definitely want to make more videos like that. I actually might show you video ideas for 2023. So I plan to make a video on silent protagonists, you know, like Claude, for example, from Grand Theft Auto 3, why you should play Yakuza 0, learning to appreciate Ratchet & Clank 2016, why I love Dirt 5, why Lego Batman 3 was disappointing, why last gen consoles aren't holding gaming back. Of course, I mentioned already video game fatigue. Talking about how should Need for Speed have unlicensed cars. I plan to do that at some point. I plan to do a video on Destiny 1 and why I still love it to this day, and why I don't like Destiny 2. Political agendas in gaming, remasters versus remakes. That's just like a few of my ideas. I have a whole page full of ideas in terms of more professional videos, and I genuinely think that 2023 is going to have my best and honestly most replayable content. Whew. I need a drink after talking for that long. That was a loud gulp. Alright, so yeah, the next up, looking for a job. So I was looking for a job for the past few months. I actually had a job in my sites, looking for, like, as a store assistant. You know, people who sit at the checkouts and stuff like that. Except I had my eyes on the night shift of this particular shop, which meant I would have been like restocking essentially, which to me sounds awesome. I would have not had to interact with many people, just restock stuff and be on my way and get paid doing it. You know, as someone who's really antisocial, has a lot of anxiety, that to me sounded perfect. And especially, I am really not a morning person. I have barely ever streamed in the morning, so you guys would know that. I love streaming. I loved streaming at night. It was honestly when I was at my best in terms of energy, and honestly I think a night shift would be awesome for me, but obviously I left it too long. I procrastinated way too much, to the point where when I finally brought up the courage to actually begin applying, the job was gone, and I was like, fuck. I was pretty pissed about that, and by the time that happened, it was almost Christmas, so I was like, yeah, for this Christmas holiday, I'm just going to leave it. Honestly, I doubt I'd get a job even if I tried during the Christmas break. So I've left it until today, where I've started looking for one again. And if you guys want to be updated on that, I'll keep you updated. If I get a job, I'll provide an update video on the main channel, and then everything after that will be on my second channel at Sly Geordie Exclusives, link in the description. And speaking of Christmas, I got a fair amount of new things. I got like a black and blue hoodie, same color as my headset. I do need a new headset at some point. That's on my list for when I start getting my paychecks. I got FIFA 23. This is something I haven't mentioned. Yes, my next video will be on FIFA 23. So yeah, there's that. That will most likely be, I don't want to say tomorrow, but within the next few days. I'm starting a career mode series. It is the last EA Sports FIFA, which is crazy, because as long as I've been alive, EA Sports FIFA has existed, and now it's going. So I want to do a career mode series on it before I can't. You know, I've been trying to do one for years. I tried to do one a few years ago on FIFA 14, if you guys remember. I never got around to finishing it, obviously. So this one, FIFA 23, I'm definitely finishing it. Like, I don't care if I have to force myself to do those videos. I'm doing it. Just, if you're still watching at this point, just for you guys, WWE 2K23. I'm bringing it back, baby. I'm bringing wrestling content back. And I've got £100 in Christmas money. At least I should do by Thursday, since my mum's not been able to give it to me yet. And this will probably be the last time I accept money from my mum, to be fair, because I want a job to earn my own money, and it'll feel a lot more better to buy this stuff with my own money. Like, that would really help with my confidence, being able to do that, being able to say that I earned this, you know, I earned the privilege to buy this luxury, you know, I want that. So obviously when I get this 100 quid, I already have 60 quid in my mind saved for WWE 2K23, so don't you worry about that. I have WWE 2K22. I'm going to work on a review for that. I think I'll put that out next month though, because obviously I have other stuff to work on, like the Yakuza 0 review and the Saints Row 4 review. So I'll get around to doing 2K22. I'll play all the modes. Right now I've only been trying to get used to the controls, and I've made my superstar. So yeah, for those of y'all who are interested in the return of wrestling content, it's coming. It's coming. I promise. But yes, let's get on to the meat and potatoes. Negative changes on YouTube. So, as I mentioned earlier with the live streaming thing, not only has PlayStation 4 been fucking me in the ass for this sort of stuff, YouTube has been doing it as well. To the point that live streams do not get views anymore. They don't. I remember back in the day, 50 views, easy. Easy 50 views for most live streams, especially if the title was good, you know, and if I was streaming at the right time. Now it doesn't matter. YouTube does not push them out, and I think this can be mostly embellished by, the biggest example could be my Saints Row the Third review. So SHAREFactory, which I'm recording this on right now, it allows you to make videos up to 80 minutes long, but you can only render 60 minutes of it. And I think the Saints Row the Third video was about 73 minutes long, 1 hour, 10 minutes long, something like that. And obviously, I wasn't able to upload it the way I wanted to, and I had to live stream it, and the views were very, 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 very slow. And I think the only reason that it's been able to get to 100 views is mostly because of you guys, and maybe perhaps how I've titled it as well. Maybe people looking up Saints Row the Third review would have found my deep dive and analysis of the game. And honestly, for those of y'all who are still watching right now, who watched that Saints Row the Third review, thank you so much. I've never worked so hard on a video, and I said that twice last year, because for the Black Ops 3 video I said the exact same thing, and the Saints Row the Third review I worked even harder, and for the Saints Row 4 one I'm going to work even harder, especially trying to put it, all the information that I want to talk about, all concise, within 60 minutes. It's going to be difficult, but I think it's better to work within those confines, because I think my Black Ops 3 video was like 46 minutes long, and I could go back and redo the Black Ops 3 video. I have been thinking quite a lot on redoing the campaign analysis for Black Ops 3, but I don't really need to, but I feel like I can definitely cut down the time by about 10 minutes, because there was a certain section of that video that was freestyled just like this, and it ended up taking a whole 10-minute portion of the video. Not that it wasn't good, that it wasn't informative, but I could have done it so much better. So if I'm ever going to redo a video, it will probably be the Black Ops 3 video that I will want to get wrapped up before I get a PS5, which is, again, something I'm aiming for this year. But it's probably not on the top of my list, and it probably shouldn't be, but it's something I would like to work on. So yeah, hopefully I do get around to it. So that is essentially 2022 wrapped up. Of course, we went a little into 2023 here. So how does 2023 begin on January 3rd? Or at least, well, it'll be January 4th by the time I put this video out. But basically, it begins with me looking for a job and getting videos planned for December 2022 wrapped up and done for January. That includes the Yakuza 0 video. That has got to be on the top of my list because I want to continue playing that game. Obviously, FIFA 23, doing more content, doing content on that. And obviously the Saints Row 4 review as well. And honestly, just thank you for this opportunity, I guess, because I know those newer videos that I've been working on, those video essays, they've been doing really well, and I have y'all to thank for that. As for YouTube live streams, I cannot guarantee any YouTube live streams anymore other than the annual Red Dead Online Christmas special. And Christmas was made a lot more special because TJ was online on PS4 quite often on the lead up to Christmas, and then Red Dead Online had these amazing discounts, and they still got the discount. They've got even more going on now. So if there's ever going to be any more Red Dead Online content on the channel, it's going to be now. It's going to be this month. So I'll see if I can get TJ on for a Red Dead Online, but it's 2023 video. I don't think we're going to live stream that because the Christmas special only has up to 40 views. TJ's video did a lot better, but I presume that's because more notifications got sent out since he barely ever uploads. I don't know how YouTube truly works, but I feel like they definitely would work a little more for someone who doesn't upload often. But yeah, oh, and another thing for negative changes on YouTube is the whole age restriction thing, and the whole swearing thing. So before, you'd get demonetized if you swore within the first 30 seconds. For me, this did not matter at all, because obviously I don't make money off this. But now, there's a chance that you get age restricted for swearing within the first 15 seconds, or swearing too much in the video. Which again, gives me another reason not to do live streams, especially with TJ on YouTube. Simply because we just swear a lot when we play games together. I'll still do videos, lots of videos with TJ, but there'll be videos recorded, and if we have a live stream, they'll most likely be on Twitch. So if I ever do a Red Dead Online stream, it's gonna be on Twitch, unless it's the Christmas special, and then clips will be uploaded. But yeah, there's a chance you get age restricted. Blood is a thing now, so for the WWE 2K23 series, and this is so strange, but for the WWE 2K23 series, we're going to have to turn blood off, which it's so strange. It's going to be so strange playing that game without being able to bust someone open, bro. You know? But I think, obviously, I want the best chance possible at getting famous on YouTube, and I think this next year, or at least the next couple of years, are probably going to be my last swing at it, if I'm going to be honest. 2022 was probably the year where I thought of the most about quitting, you know? Like, it is insane how much I thought of quitting YouTube last year. Not quitting that year, but when I was going to quit. And honestly, I'm going to quit at some point. The ideal scenario is that, like, I get a girlfriend, for example, and I just don't have time for YouTube anymore. But I feel like I always will try and find time for it, especially for the more important videos. And that's why these video essays that I've been talking about and have been working on and I've uploaded recently, yeah, 2023 is going to be the start of a new era in terms of the type of content that I put out. You're not going to have a bunch of half-arsed videos anymore. I think like annual videos would be cool, like Black Ops Cold War in 2023, for example. That will still be sort of like a half-arsed thing, more of a raw video instead of a highly edited one. That video is ready to come out pretty soon. I don't know, within the next couple of days. If I get FIFA 23 out for tomorrow, then Black Ops Cold War will be the day after that, or maybe a couple of days. Maybe give the FIFA 23 video some time to breathe. Maybe even give this video some time to breathe, and in turn give myself some time to breathe in terms of editing. So, yeah. Essentially, that's pretty much all I have to discuss. 2022 was the end of an era. Things like, since 2020, well, since the beginning of the channel, I've been doing live streamed Let's Plays, and that's just not going to happen anymore. If I'm going to do Let's Plays, they're going to be recorded or on Twitch, and then I upload highlights on YouTube. I don't want to do YouTube Let's Plays anymore. Which leaves Assassin's Creed's Ezio trilogy, the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy in my backlog for a while. I don't know how I'm going to put those 3 games out. I don't know how I'm going to play those games and put them out on the channel for you guys, but I will get round to it. I want to play the Ezio trilogy. I know it's the best that Assassin's Creed has to offer, and I enjoyed Black Flag, Rogue, Unity, and Syndicate, the 4 Assassin's Creeds I played last year. I thoroughly enjoyed them, and if the Ezio trilogy is the best of Assassin's Creed, like, I'd be like, you could get better from here? I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know when I'm going to get round to it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. I'll be live streaming a lot more on Twitch, or at least I want to. Definitely more than Ghosts. I want to do Black Ops Cold War as well. since I've been playing that quite a lot in my spare time. I've actually almost prestiged on Black Ops Cold War, which is going to be so cool to do. My first modern Call of Duty where I'm going to prestige. It's dope. And Ghosts, I'm pretty close to prestige 2 on that as well. So stay tuned on the Twitch. It's at SlyJordy, same name. We'll be doing Red Dead Online streams as well at some point, and just other things. I definitely want to live stream more on Twitch, and I'll be doing those more midday, so we'll see what happens there. But as for YouTube, you're going to get a lot more edited and more well thought out, more concise content from now on. But yeah, in terms of YouTube and in terms of how I'm going to do that stuff, I feel like I want to put that in more of a concise manner. So stay tuned for that. I definitely want to wrap up the 2022 stuff that I have left unfinished in this month of January. So I'm not going to do a State of the Channel 2023 until February. And I feel like we're going to do a bit of channel rebranding as well, a SlyJordy 2.0 sort of thing. Which might include Warzone 2.0 as well. I definitely want to do more content. I'd want to do some content on that, but obviously I have some games to wrap up and finish before I can even think of adding that onto my storage. So, yeah. Honestly, I am really optimistic for 2023. If I can get a job and start earning money, it's going to make 2023, well, quite possibly, 2023 has the potential to be the best year of my life. And I know I said that about 2021, but 2023 will excel that by far. 2021 was just a good vibe, but 2023 will be a good vibe caused by me entirely, for the most part. But we'll see. Anything can happen. I might even have a girlfriend by the end of this year. Who fucking knows? Honestly, I hope not. Because obviously that will take time away from my YouTube thing, but obviously I'll think differently by the time that happens, if it does. But yeah, definitely a lot more things to look forward to this year on the channel than any other one. A lot more replayable, rewatchable content will be on the channel. At least that's my aim. So yeah, again, thank you all so much for the past year. How many subscribers do I have now? I haven't really kept tabs on it. Yeah, thank you so much for, as of right now, 776 subscribers. It really means the world to me. And I hope to see you guys in a lot more videos going forward, and hopefully the Twitch streams as well if you go ahead and follow. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for hearing me out. If you were interested, then I'm flattered. Thank you so much. Leave a comment if there's anything you want to comment on, and obviously I respond as quickly as possible. Need for Speed, I don't know what to do in terms of that, but I think I'll be doing more Need for Speed streams on Twitch instead of YouTube, and maybe I'll put some highlights on YouTube. I definitely want to do some Need for Speed 2015 on Twitch. Sorry I left you guys out, Need for Speed fans. I'm not trying to. Obviously the first game I'm going to buy for the PlayStation 5 will be Need for Speed Unbound. So, yeah, hopefully that happens by the end of this year. Either way, I'm going to wrap this thing up now. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Okay, bye.